I'm going to attempt to explain with all the bravado I can muster the intricate workings of my highly functioning but ill-understood brain. Come with me on a journey. Starting to sound a bit mighty boosh. Let's start at the beginning, a very good place to start. It was all under wraps, but on this particular day I knew the world needed a bit more of me. The sex god within should be shared with a world, let's say, a bit devoid of fun. With this in mind, I took the executive decision to walk into town, wearing my Timberland boots and my budgie smugglers. Well, in my case, less budgie and more emu, but Southend High Street didn't get my joke. Graham and his mate Simon, two very reasonable uniformed gentlemen, took me on a new journey via an assessment unit and a short stay in what used to be called a nut house. Well, I prefer to call it a place of reflection and sedation. Slapped on a gargantuan cocktail of haloperidol and procyclidine, the zombification process had begun. I was walking through treacle and not the lovely, sweet, sticky stuff of my childhood. This was more like shitey tar. Well, tar very much, matey, but no thanks. Oh, and they threw away my swimming trunks. Informed me it was inappropriate. A little chat with a trick cyclist confirmed their suspicions. I was indeed having a manic episode. And before they'd need to peel me off the ceiling, they'd need to give me something to calm me down. Calm me down. I don't need calming down. I just need someone to listen to me. I was firing on all cylinders, cooking with gas, all the cupboards were open, all the lights were on. Bob's your uncle, funny's your aunt, lock, stock and three smoking barrels. I'm a barrel of laughs, a gaggle of geese. One flew over the cuckoo's nest and the eagle has landed. Elvis has left the building. Flight of ideas, sleight of consciousness, flee of mind. Boom! Back in the room. Everyone was boring me to tears with unreasonable requests. Why don't you sit down? Try to relax. Stop trying to flood the bathroom, etc., blah, blah, blah. Anyway, as I was saying, the rapid cycling. Did I say I was a type 2 rapid cycler? It doesn't mean I'm fast on a bike, although I am, but it does mean that my mood can fluctuate rapidly. But I wasn't like my compadre James. I mean, his mood could switch in the space of a sentence. For example, hey, I think you're wonderful, can't stand the sight of you, nice shoes. Mine was more in the space of the day. I get loads done, write 5 brilliant poems, 27 posts on Facebook, 14 very witty tweets. But then I'd outdone myself. I'd started to doubt the content of some of my friend requests. I deeply regret unfriending Carol and George. Hate the size of my nose. Remind myself it doesn't correlate with the size of anything else. And curse myself for referring to that in my last job interview. Hate my life, where I live, the cat, because it smells. Really hate my life. And not in the casual way that teenage girls use that phrase. Really hate my life. My girlfriend left months ago, sick of the massive overspends and what she considered outrageous behaviour. I don't think building a pond in my front garden and investing in a few high-risk business ventures constitutes outrageous behaviour. But then I suppose losing 60 grand on a couple of deals, which should have turned in my favour, probably did rile her, but she was easily riled. I mean, if I want to get up at 4 in the morning and hoover the bedroom, including the bed she's in, she should just be pleased that I like to keep the place clean. But she dumped me. She walked the walk and talked the talk, and as she left, she poured orange food colouring into my fish pond so I couldn't even see my new goldfish. Still, they survived and so did I, but that's when all this happened. The proverbial hit the fan fell off the sideboard and smashed into 1,000 pieces, and I'm left getting the shite all over myself, metaphorically speaking. And she didn't even stay around to witness the come down when I would be calmer than a corpse, a cold black blanket pinning me to my bed like Gulliver's Travels, only the journey never ends. You're in this ice-cold tunnel, words that people say to try and soothe you, freeze before they reach you, and smash on the floor like wine, which could have soothed you had you been able to drink it, but it smashed and poured all over the place like blood. And you can't move. You know, if you move, you're going to cut yourself, and in a way, you're tempted to deliberately cut yourself, but you can't even find the guts to do that. And yet, you know, it's not about guts. You've lost too many friends that took that way out. It's not about guts or even loss of hope or desperation. It's something else, and you can't even reach it. It's a secret. The psychiatrist says I use a lot of you language. For example, you know if you move, you are going to cut yourself. You language is when you don't own a statement. Several degrees of separation from you and the words you're using. But for me, the you language is deliberate. I don't want to own this stuff. I maybe rent it for a while or just throw away the key. You wouldn't even wish this on your worst friend. But enough of me. I mean, what do you think about this? Am I mad? So this is the pattern. I generally have a brilliant day, followed by a less good day, then a terrible day. I've upset someone and I deserve to be punished and I'm back in the pits. The mood stabiliser, valproic acid, which isn't like the fun acid I had in my 20s, but we've kind of reached an understanding now. I'll continue to take you if you allow me some manic episodes occasionally. Well, they're never as enthralling, as exciting as they used to be, but then the lows, well, they never take me to that place where the worst enemy, though not wished upon, resides. So, in a nutshell, and I use that term advisedly, I suppose I'm in a slightly better place. I've refriended Carol and George, write less regrettable tweets, and my girlfriend's been coming round again. She even apologised for the orange incident. For the first time in ages, we're able to laugh about the same thing and feel more on the same page, so that's good. It's not all good, but it's better than it used to be, and that'll have to do.